One of the most frustrating things about the housing market right now is that even though interest rates are higher than where we thought they would be and everything feels expensive, you're still dealing with bidding wars out there and multiple offer situations. There is some kind of Murphy's Law when it comes to real estate, and I've personally experienced this, that as soon as you fall in love with a home, everyone else does too. And buying a home is a lifestyle thing. The house has to fit your personal needs. It's not just about the numbers. I understand that. But if you don't want to overpay for a home and you want to find something you can negotiate on, today's blog is for you. Over the past couple weekends, many of my clients have been involved in bidding wars to get the home they want. And if you find yourself in one of these multiple offer situations, there are a couple things you can do to increase your odds of winning that home. The first is making sure before you got into the weekend that your pre-approval was fully up to date with your lender. You know your max buying power. You know the financing strategies that work for you. The second thing is come in with a lender letter that shows you've been fully pre-underwritten, not just a basic pre-approval, pre-underwritten, because this gives the seller a lot of assurance that you're less likely to bail out on this deal because something went wrong with your financing. And we can run the numbers and see how offering above list price might not change your monthly payment or cash to close all that much, but would really help your offer stand out. You have other choices. You can offer a quick close. You could waive your appraisal contingency. All of these things are very specific, and I highly suggest you get in touch with your lender before the weekend to make sure you have the most up-to-date information. But if you can, I would strongly urge you to check out one of these other homes that we're going to highlight today, because we know these sellers are motivated. Maybe they're in contract to buy another home, or their house has already been listed for a couple weeks. In these situations, you will have the ability to make the deal much more favorable for you than when you're competing with 5 other buyers for the same house. You might want to ask for repairs to be done so that you don't have to worry about any surprises right after closing. You might want to ask for a credit from the seller to cover your closing costs so that you keep more money in the bank. You might want to ask for help with your monthly payment, or you might need a longer escrow. When you have room to negotiate with a seller, so many things are more in your favor than when you're in a bidding war with a bunch of other buyers. So I want you to see the difference it makes when you have just a little bit of wiggle room to move the needle on your offer. Let me show you 2 different price points and what a big difference it makes when you have just a little bit of room to negotiate with a seller. So this condo on Catalina is so charming. What's even more charming is the numbers. If you were to offer 5% down as a first-time homebuyer on this property, your monthly payment, including taxes, insurance, HOA, mortgage insurance, would be under $1,900 a month. That is amazing in this market right now to buy such a great property. But what's even better is that we know this seller is motivated to sell this weekend. So maybe you would offer a little bit less on the price. And you can see in that second column how that would impact your monthly payment and your cash to close. What I think is even more strategic is to offer the seller list price, but ask for a credit from them. Asking for that credit is the same as offering less on price, but will help you so much more. You can see in the third column, you could use a $5,000 credit to keep $5,000 in the bank so that you have a little nest egg after closing and don't fully deplete your savings. Or if you're comfortable with the cash to close, but you'd like a little help with the monthly payment, you could ask the seller for a $5,000 credit to subsidize your mortgage payment for the first couple years. A temporary buy down, like the 2-1 buy down, means we ask the seller for a credit and we hold it in a separate account with your new mortgage to help make your payments so that in the first year, you get to make a payment on an interest rate that's 2 points lower, and in the second year, 1 point lower. Before the remaining 28 years of your 30-year fixed loan, you'd make the payment by yourself. This is really popular right now because it allows a buyer to gradually ease in to the new mortgage payment. You might also be expecting your income trajectory to improve over the next couple years. You don't have to do this banking on a refinance, but if you did get the opportunity to refinance during those first 2 years, whatever you hadn't used of the seller credit would automatically get applied to your loan as a principal reduction, which is pretty cool. Now let me show you a higher price point and how you still don't need a huge amount of room to negotiate, a little bit goes a long way. So this is a home on Reno Way, and the sellers are in contract to buy their next home. So they're not going to give it to you for free, but they want to sell it this weekend. If you came in and you had 10% to put down, you can see that your monthly payment, including taxes, insurance, HOA, and your mortgage insurance, would be around $4,800. If you offered less on the price, it comes down a little bit, and the cash to close comes down as well. That's nice. Every little bit counts. If you wanted to structure it differently, like I just suggested, you could ask for a $10,000 credit to reduce your cash to close significantly. Or you could ask for a $10,000 credit to help with your monthly payment for the first 2 years. This means that by buying this home, this particular property on Reno Way, which has been very loved by a very sweet family for a few years now, you would have a mortgage payment that's $830 less than any other home at the same price point right now, given current interest rates. That's amazing. And that's the difference between looking at a home where you can negotiate versus one where you have to bid above asking. If you want to see your specific down payment or your financial scenario in one of these reports, just reach out to me. I'm happy to run the numbers. And be sure to check out the list of homes below because I have personally verified that every single one of them has a motivated seller who wants to sell their house this weekend. These are the properties to be checking out, not the shiniest new listing that has 15 other buyers checking it out on the same day as you. These ones are amazing opportunities to get into a home and start building wealth.